Hi, these are the albums that you should listen to that came out in April. Bon Iver's fifth album, Sable Fable, is the continuation of last year's EP, Sable, which 3 songs suggest a throwback to the chamber folk sounds of his self-titled album with ethereal soundscapes behind acoustic guitars. The Fable side of the album, though, it just feels very much like a pop album and is just more straightforward than any other album that Justin has done yet, although I haven't really listened to that much of II. Don't get me wrong, there's still the otherworldliness of his first albums somewhere in here, but songs like From or If Only I Could Wait are mostly just capturing the end of summer nostalgia a lot of melancholic indie pop aims for, and they often succeed. Listen to Everything is Peaceful Love. Skrillex's most recent record is pretty, let's call it messy. I think there are very good moments on here, but I wouldn't recommend listening to any of the songs outside of the album, as they don't really work that way. If you want to do that though, I would recommend Spitfire. The Crooks is Joe Carey's third album under the synonym Joe, and it starts with the most Strokes sounding song that the Strokes haven't written. Lonesome is a state of mind. In demeanor, in sounds, down to the vocal delivery, it sounds so much like the Strokes. I love it so much, and the rest is very good as well. Give Portion a listen. Black Country New Road's third studio album and first one without former lead singer Isaac Wood is a rather open record compared to the at times quite existential Ends From Up There. In these more fun moments, the band is quite good and even better at capturing the free spirit of its predecessors, but probably because of Isaac Wood's departure, it just doesn't even make the attempts to go into darker themes and darker spaces musically. For that reason though, I also think it is the band's most approachable album yet. Listen to Besties. Indie rock band Mama's fourth album is the first one I heard from them yet, and all I can say is I wouldn't be able to pick them out of a playlist with Biba Doobie or The Breeders, which I want to be seen as a compliment. Listen to I Want Your Fever. Jinko by Pachiko kind of suffers from the same problem that last year's album by Freako also had. The songs don't really seem to have different parts, but rather just repeat the same part over and over, and thus they are expanding but not really progressing. Here the problem is also there, but the guitars especially do a great job at hiding the album's flaws, with some songs really digging into creative licks and riffs that immediately make me think of Radiohead, which is never a bad thing. Listen to Shovel of Salt. I don't think I have that many of what you might call hot takes on this channel, but here's one. Revenge Seekers is not that good. When I think about hyperpop, I think about excess of the customs and tools that help to make pop music enjoyable, turned up to a level that might challenge some listeners. But in the best case, it can leave you with some energy-inducing bangers or self-consciously goofy tracks with funny hooks. And this album doesn't really do either. The over-the-top production doesn't really add much to the hooks, but just makes them unrecognizable. The scattered vocal layers make me feel removed from the artist, and most of all, and I don't know if I'm alone with this, but there's something ungenuine about this album. I can't really back it up with anything I've heard about them, but although they were in the whole genre before Brad, the album still feels like trend hopping for some reason I can't really elaborate on. If you like the album though, more power to you. I don't really think it's because either of us is missing something that the other one grasped, but just a matter of subjective taste. And if you bring up that you like it in a conversation, I'll not judge you or say what I don't like about it. I'll just try to change the topic of conversation. Send a Prayer My Way is Julian Baker's fourth studio album and her first one with Taurus. And I will send a prayer their way for the next albums to have more of a personality of their own and reasons to revisit the album apart from the lead single Sugar in the Tank. Viagra Boys' semi-self-titled album is just what you'd expect from it. A pretty good punk album. Wu-Tang Clan returned after 8 years of abstinence with their 9th studio album. And as someone who hasn't heard 36 Chambers yet, this one has me very intrigued to do so. Apart from the amazing chemistry and energy all of these guys bring to the table, the samples, both instrumentally and also the ones from the Kung Fu movies that are regularly used here, worked much better for me than I expected them to. This is a very fun time and also kind of emotional at other points. Listen to Claudine. Ghost's most recent album is just the theatrical glam metal you'd expect from them. And all you really need to change, umbra or sanitize to make them radio hits is exchange the guitars for synths. Listen to Marks of the Evil One. West Coast rapper Blue, probably most known for his work with Exile, Aspel and Exile, returns with his most recent studio album 40. Very decelerating, conscious rap record that is mostly focused on him reaching and really settling into adulthood in his 40s. Listen to Dance. For each of Samir's first 2 albums, I had like 1 or 2 songs I liked and which became my absolute favorites of that year. For Baby there was Is There Something in the Movies, and for Honey it were the title track and Mad at Me. For this one thus far, it has to be Lizard, though I like a lot of the songs here. I just think that I would click more with her albums if she was, you know, a good singer. Natalia Lafourcade has been one of Mexico's most critically acclaimed artists over the last 2 decades, with the last album being the culmination of said acclaim in big part because of A Certain Bold Guy. While her previous album was already praised for its excellent band work and storytelling in songs, I think some aspects of it are even improved on here. While De Todas las Flores was great in its conveying of emotions, there were moments where the vocals, drums or something else just pushed beyond the pleasant level for either the listener or just the sound equipment itself. Here though, those moments are gone. The production appears to be elevated straight from the 50s to the modern day, and the music itself doesn't really disappoint either. The open track has hypnotizing arrangements, establishing memorable motifs that evoke a nervous sense of interest. The title track is a beautiful song about art. Cocos on la Playa is fun, but most of all, while the songs might dig into deeper subject matter or fun fantasies either, they always keep pleasing the ear. The subtle tinkling of the keys or pause of the music to leave the stage for the lyrics make the album both a pleasant listen and a deeply rewarding one for if you dig deeper. Listen to the title track. Out of all the albums I listened to in April, or at least talked about in this video, I'd say the ones I recommend the most would probably be Cancionera, Sable Fable, and 40. Thank you for watching, and I see ya. Hey, thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. I have a very small channel, so every subscription would mean the world to me. Listen to my music on Spotify. You can find that under the name Arne Mente. And yeah, listen to music.